Hello, my name is Omar Ampersad. It is 4 p.m., August 31st, 2020. Sorry for the delay there. It's distracted by a lot of things that's going on around my unit. So I am actually, I was live streaming the conversations outside the window, and I was demonstrating in those live streams the incitement of anger, or the attempted incitement of anger that's ongoing. So apparently, the way this experiment works that's being run in this building, or one of it anyways, excuse me, my mouth is starting to, my throat is already starting to tickle. Sorry for all the distractions. Okay, so what I was live streaming was the ongoing targeting outside the window. So what is going on right now is a person has the contract, and there needs to be 10 attempts to intercept me. And there's got to be 10 reasons to intercept me. So the reasons are created. So the constant triggering, or the attempted triggering outside the window, is the way it's been done. So you're set up and framed to be to be triggered, and the result of the triggering the result of the triggering is recorded and presented in meetings that are constantly being held about me in the building, and then submitted to courts. So what the words that's being used outside my window are these triggers. So one day last week, it was so bad, and they were shouting at me that they were going to call the cops because I was live streaming what they were doing, and swearing at me. So I answered back. That was the only time I spoke directly at them. I never have any contact with them. I avoid contact with them. That was the only direct contact I had with them verbally. So he indicated that he was going to call the cops, and I said I was going to do the same through these feeds, because I can't go physically call and talk to the cops, because they'll charge me because I'm a target. They've done it before. So I have no other choice but to use this route to communicate my side of the story. So today, of course, you've got to imagine that constant triggering necessitate the person who is being targeted to have very, very, very tight control of their emotions. So I practice that through meditation. And let me tell you, I get a lot of practice outside the window. That one time I indicated to them that I was going to call the cops was the only time in about 3 or 4 years, I think it was about 4 years actually, not 3, that of harassment by this one company, that I ever actually reacted in 4 years directly to them. Otherwise, I totally avoid any physical contact with them. I will stream it. I will make comments. I will tweet about it. But I have absolutely no direct contact with them. So on days that it's very continuous and very loud, and a whole lot of people are taking part in it, and it's extremely vicious and extremely violent in nature. And you could see by the way the people walk that they are really intending to do harm. Because keep in mind, they're also talking about microwave weapons about turning up the power. They're constantly talking about giving heart attacks by turning up the power, and I've demonstrated this several times. So yeah, you could be, a target could be forgiven if the target is fearful. There is no paranoia. The intent is to make you fearful. The signals themselves also have effects on your nervous system. So between the two, it's intended to drive you nuts, basically. This is a psychological torture program that is intended, the intent of it is to drive you nuts. As you can tell, while it will incite some anger, there is never any loss of control. I have a right to self-defense. If somebody is verbally abusing me, I have a right of verbal self-defense. If they're physically abusing me, I have a right to physical self-defense. So the day that they were constantly talking about calling the cops, that was a threat, and swearing at me directly. They were directly swearing at me. I have a right to verbal self-defense. I have a right to tell them to stop doing it. There's absolutely nothing illegal about it. So the idea behind what is going on is to, as a target, involve everybody in your targeting. So nobody is your friend, and everybody has something to lose by taking this to court. Family, friends, doctors, lawyers, every single person takes part because they get intimidated, because they are fearful of becoming a target themselves. Mostly that is the reason, to protect themselves, they think. But really what they're doing is criminalizing themselves. And once you perform a criminal act, then you're sucked in, because that criminal act can be used to blackmail you into continuing, the activity. And I'm being scammed relentlessly. On and off system. So, once you use a link and a password and you look at somebody inside your home, that's illegal surveillance, that's spying, that's psychological rape. You could be charged for it. So once you do that, and you have to cover yourself. And to cover yourself, you have to suppress the person from getting to court. You have to put blocks in their way to get them to court, or try your best to help the group or the team to have the person mentally committed or charged, disposed of. And this is exactly what is going on here. So the neck, the jaw, and my face is swollen. Around here is swollen. I heard the effects of tonsillitis is going to be felt. So you can see the swelling here. This here is swollen. And this here is swollen. So the power was just turned down. I can't do the blood pressure measurements because the battery is dead in my blood pressure monitor. So I'm going to show you the temperature. 36.5 left side. 37.1 right side. 0.6 degrees difference. 36.9. 37. 36.9 left side. Caught up with the right side. 36.8. 36.7, so I do not have a fever. 37.4, my head is being hit today constantly. 36.6. 37.2. 36.6. 36.6. 36.5. 36.6. 36.6. No fever. 36.6. 37.1. 37. 36.9. Up and down, as you saw the signals on and off, on and off. Well, the temperature is going up and down, as the signals and the power of the signals are turned up and down, and the power is turned on and off. If you look at my videos, you'll see a consistency. 36.6, which is my normal temperature, 36.6. So 37.1 is because of the scans. So my hand, are you looking at the EF reading there? The right hand. The EF reading. And the RF reading also is fluctuating. The air. See the electrical readings going up and down? Also the RF reading. So RF, electrical. So you notice the marks on my face is still there because as I try to get it out, and it does come out, new ones are formed because my face, both sides, is constantly hit, constantly radiated and burned. With the electrical readings, it causes heat, and of course it burns your skin, like a sunburn, a very, very, very bad sunburn that takes weeks, months sometimes, if it's deep enough to come out. Face peels will work. Really, it's not any sort of a defect in pigmentation. They're really burns. They're really hyperpigmentation caused by very high heat burns. It's not a disease, is what I'm saying. or hormonal. So there's not much more I could say. I mean, everything I say, some of, okay, sorry. Now I'm really distracted today because I was in pain all day, especially at my chest, and the power is turned down a bit. So the pain, the cramps is gone away, but I've been cramping all morning. And as I said, the blood pressure monitor is not working because of the battery. But let me show you how my attempts at exposing what's going on is always blocked, and this is part of the problem. And this would go on anywhere I am. Keep in mind, I'm a target, so the targeting follows you everywhere you are. So this is, I'll show you how my money is taken away. So this was the blood pressure monitor that I had originally, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I tried getting a new band for it, and I couldn't find the make. But here is why it doesn't work. I used it one day and it was perfectly fine. The next day it wasn't. And when I looked to see what happened, here is what happened. There is a deep cut in the cuffs. So the cuffs wasn't inflating properly. See that cut? So these are just like the cuffs in my coat. See that cut there? So this is exactly what happened with my coat. My coat was cut up all over the place in the lining, on the inside of the lining. So here is what happened with my present blood pressure monitor, and I'll have to get another one because once this is broken, it's not going to last much longer, even when I fix it. But see the uneven cut here? This was originally straight, right? It wasn't a U-shaped, it was square. These edges are supposed to be like this edge, completely square. It was cut off. It was broken. Because if you look at it like this, you'll see that it was broken. And it doesn't, I mean, the details can't be shown on this camera, but I'll try here. Can you see that? It was actually broken. So then it was working okay because I was putting, I was making sure it was the contacting with the battery, these contacts. But then I noticed a couple of days ago that this was broken. See that? And it wasn't when I used it the last time. So this is 150 Canadian dollars. And the other one is about, I think I paid about $60 for it, $60 or $70 with tax. That's $220 roughly gone. So I heard that you don't need a key to open the door, that magnetically the door, the flip, I mean, it's a deadbolt, but it's just a bolt. And the bolt can be flipped. And I just got a low battery reading on my computer, so I'll have to stop. So the bolt could be flipped with these beams. So things can be moved around with these beams. The technology has progressed to the point where you can latch on to a metallic object and you can turn it. So you really don't need a key. So any signs of forced entry is non-existent. There is none. So you don't need a key. So this is something people should keep in mind. I heard this talked about outside the window because I wouldn't have a clue. I would not have a clue that there is such technology, but I believe it because I could, when the power is turned up, as I demonstrated several times in other videos, I could feel the pressure on my body. And there is a magnetic component to that when I put a detector on the spot without magnets on the body, sometimes fresh off the shower. You can actually, there is a magnetic reading off the spot. So there is electrical signals and magnetic signals. So it's an electromagnetic technology that's being used. So just like your body could be latched onto, and you can actually lift your arm with this. You can latch onto the lock and flip it open. So keep that in mind if you think that your house is secure when you use a deadbolt and you leave it. Okay, so there are some comments here, but I'm not going to get into it. So I have to stop. My battery is going. I'm doing this on my portable light computer, cheap computer. Okay, talk to you another time.